You know, it's a Sunday afternoon. Most people have either been to church and are spending time with their families or they're at church now. Me? No. I'm up here making Cosmopolitans, and that's what we're doing today. Hey everybody, welcome to An Idiot's Liquor. I am Eric, the drink idiot, and today it is the Cosmopolitan cocktail. This one, very famous from the show Sex and the City, although it's been around way before that, and it actually is a pretty sophisticated classical cocktail. Well, I should say more of a modern classic cocktail. We go back, we can trace the origins of the old-fashioned sometime in the 1800s, in the late 1800s. However, something like this was actually made more in the 1970s, which for many would be considered a dark era of cocktails. That time period from the end of Prohibition up until kind of the 70s, 80s, this is a rough time for cocktails. Many of the classics were kind of forgotten about, or things had changed, tastes had changed. This is a time period, vodka begins being introduced more and more, promoted more and more into cocktails. Things just start to change. During the 70s, 80s, a lot of cocktails use sugary syrups. There are a lot of over-sweetened cocktails, and we kind of lost our way when it came to crafting good drinks. So this drink actually is not too hard to make. It does, feature citrus vodka. Citrus vodka, and I'm using Absolut Citron. Basically, a citrus vodka is just a traditional that has been infused with the flavors of lemon. So I'm going to start off with a stemless martini glass. I'm going to put some water in that just to chill it down. This is what our drink is going to end up in. Typically when you see this served, it is served in that cocktail martini style glass. I like these little stemless ones, so that's what I'm using. Next up, it's time for a shaker tin. Really simple drink to make. It starts off with 1.5 ounces of the citrus vodka. That's going to be the first thing we put in there. Next up is going to be Cointreau. Now, Cointreau is just kind of an orange flavored liqueur as well. Really good stuff. It's going to be 1.5 ounces of that. If you don't have Cointreau and you have triple sec and want to use it, that is okay as well. It's not really what the traditional cocktail calls for, but substitutions, it works for me. Next, you want to grab yourself a nice lime and just cut it in half. It's not a lot of juice that we're going to be using here. Dale Degroff only called for about 1/4 ounce. So it gives you a good excuse to make this with some friends, because typically that lime is going to yield you about 1 ounce worth of juice. So really good excuse to get some friends together and try some. And finally, we're going to use some cranberry juice. It's going to be 1 ounce of cranberry juice in there. And many people don't know this, but Dale Degroff actually got a great sponsorship deal from Ocean Spray for this cocktail. It helped promote it over in Europe and really jumped the sales of cranberry juice, which was pretty much uncommon at that time in Europe. Next step would be to add some ice and give this a nice shake. Got the glass ready to roll. That's right. We're going to strain this off. It's a dainty looking drink, just a real dainty looking light pink drink. Now we have to garnish this. I said this is kind of a fancier drink, you know? So this is where the garnish comes in, and what we're going to do is take a little swath of orange peel and just something, you know, something about that size will do just fine. And what we're going to do is we're going to do a little trick called the flamed orange peel. Now, if you don't want to do this, look, that's fine. I understand. But it really adds a nice little flair to your style. What you want to do is take yourself the orange peel, take a match, kind of warm up the outside of the orange peel here, and we're going to squeeze it. We're going to squeeze it. See how that comes off there and kind of goes into the drink. So you might ask yourself, you know, what does the flaming of the orange peel do? It's thought that not only just for cool show, but actually as the essential oils from the orange peel pass through the flame and go into the drink, they kind of caramelize a little bit. You know, to me, you'd be pretty hard-pressed to notice that, but that is the theory, and it is a really cool look when you, you know, flame it through. It's kind of a pointers if you're trying to impress somebody. And that's how you do it. That is the Cosmopolitan cocktail. It smells like sulfur in here from the match. Anytime you get to have a drink and play with fire, that's always, you know, a win-win. It's a delicious cocktail. It really is something that, you know, is it good enough to revive an entire industry? No, there was definitely more to it than that as far as the cocktail revolution. But this is definitely a delicious drink. I've never actually watched an episode of Sex and the City. What's it about? Is it like just 4 women drinking Cosmos? You know, I might not be Sarah Jessica Parker, but I think I am worth subscribing to, especially if you enjoy making cocktails. Click on that subscribe button down below, the bell icon, that way you get notified anytime I post anything new. However, for this one, we are all said and done, and I want to thank you for watching this video, and remember that if this idiot can do it, so can you. Cheers.